I think it's about time you forgive yourself. Let's talk about it. Here we go.
This is your life, no one else has gotta live it. This is your fight that only you can win.
Hello everyone and welcome to Freedom Friday, where you learn how to free yourself and live your dreams. I'm Darienne, your certified spiritual rock star, and I'm answering another question, Freedom Friday Q&A. But before I get into that, don't forget to share this or one of my Freedom Friday videos to win a copy of Gabrielle Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back. Only one winner. You have to share it with the hashtag Freedom Friday giveaway, and I will announce the winners November 1st. I'm also holding a contest once I reach 5,000 subscribers, which I'm about 4,950 at the time that I am recording this. So by next week, I will be announcing, I'm sure, the winner for that. So get in your entries into that contest. To enter that contest, basically, first of all, what you win what you win is a free 45-minute session with me, virtual meet and greet, and you win your own copy of A Course in Miracles. In order to enter, you just have to follow me all throughout social media. The links are down below as well, and then just let me know that you want to enter the contest. So let's read our question. I'm a little bit blinded by the lights. Blinded by the lights. Okay, let's get into it. So we got a question from, and I don't know if this is actually words or a name, but it's spelled HJK, and then the second word is UIO. And they asked, I'll just sort of get into it. Anyway, I have an issue with self-compassion. My inner critic is strong and throws me a bunch of shame for my mistakes. How can I incorporate self-compassion so that I can love myself unconditionally? This was on the question about last week, what it really means to love yourself. Forgiving myself is not easy though. I haven't done anything awful. By the way, your videos are great. Thanks, HJK. I don't really know what to call you, but so thank you for your question. And I really think that this is going to be a two-part answer, as was last week's, ended up being a two-part answer. You guys ask really crazy questions. No, you guys ask questions that I'm like, well, if I could coach you, which I would love to coach every single one of you, but if I could coach you and have you sit down and actually work through that with you, then we could work it out. But the challenge is putting the answers into like a 10-15 minute video. So today I'm going to talk about forgiving yourself, and then next week I'm going to talk about that negative self-talk and how to really handle that. So I'm going to say something to you that I think may be possibly rather radical for you to hear. And the thing is that you already forgive yourself and that you already love yourself. You see, our spirit, the truth of who we are, the God within us, right? That being, that whatever you want to call that energy already loves you completely unconditionally. So there's this misconception like, oh, I don't know what love is. I've never seen what that looks like. But the truth is you come from love. You are love. The issue that you're having with trying to forgive yourself is that somewhere along the way, other people have given you this idea that you have made mistakes. They've impeded their beliefs on you, whether on purpose or thinking that they were doing you a favor. Maybe you were raised, your parents or whoever raised you gave you these ideas about who you're supposed to be in the world, and that if you make a mistake that you should be condemned or punished, or that you're wrong for it. So every single thought that you have that tells you that you are wrong for doing anything, that is a learned behavior. It's not the truth. It is not the truth. And all of those thoughts that you have about yourself, if they are negative thoughts about yourself, they're not you. They're simply probably like your mother, your grandmother, your father, your teacher, just running in your head. They're not you. So, and it's so interesting because today on the ACIM live lessons in A Course in Miracles, I do the workbook lessons every day. Today we're actually working on forgiveness. And what I talked about was, let's stop looking at forgiveness as letting someone off the hook. Let's stop looking at forgiveness as, you have done wrong and I have to say it's okay for me to forgive you, that's the act of forgiveness. Let's stop looking at forgiveness as that and start looking at forgiveness as correcting your mindset. So shifting your mindset from seeing someone or yourself as doing something bad, shifting it to understanding that there's nothing that anyone can ever do wrong. Oh, I felt that one. Everybody's ego went, what? If your ego went, what? Look at that. Notice that. It's just your ego. That's not who you are. That's just your human protector, right? That's just the part of you, your mind, that protects your human body so you don't, like, you know, walk into the middle of the street and get hit by a car, you know, so you stay alive. So it has to discern. It has to have black and white. It has to have this physical plane, work on this physical plane, but you're not of this physical plane. You come from somewhere else. You visit here to expand, to explore all of your desires, to express yourself. But understand that that's not who you are, that the ego, that the mind, the part of your mind that says people can do you wrong or that you can do wrong. So if you're going to forgive yourself, what I would invite you to do is not try to grapple with the fact that you've made all of these mistakes, or even if you hadn't made all these mistakes, that you're not perfect, whatever. Stop trying to grapple with that and forgive yourself in such a way where you learn to accept that you're not perfect. Except if it feels like crap to you, you know, just understand, instead of forgiving in that way, let's forgive in the way that understanding that if it feels like crap to you, then you're not thinking in line with your spirit, the spirit that knows that you are perfection, the spirit that loves you unconditionally, who you truly are. You come from love. There is no love to be learned. You come from it. So let's just shift our perception about it. And this is just a suggestion, you know. If you resist it way too much, then don't take it, you know. But I find solace in shifting my perception in that way. And I also talked on my ACIM live lessons today about how the power to retrain your brain is so insane. It gives us so much power, and science proves that you don't have to be spiritual to know that you can retrain your brain, to know that anything that you learn, anything that you have learned along the way, you have learned it by training your brain through practice. You've learned it. And when you train your brain to believe whatever you want it to believe, because you have that power, then through the law of attraction, that's what comes to you. So if I, like I was suggesting on ACIM live lessons on Facebook Live today, you can train your brain to believe that every single thing that happens is meant to happen, that it's all for the greater good. Whether you really think that that's true or not, you can train your brain to believe it, so that the universe must deliver, that every single thing that comes your way is all for the greater good, that it's all getting you closer to your desires. So let's look at that from a self-forgiveness standpoint. If you train your brain to believe that you are perfection, that nothing you can do is wrong, if you can train your brain to believe that, it will be true. And you will then open yourself up to the unconditional love that your spirit already feels for you. So loving yourself, it's not about making up a sensation of love or having to learn a sensation of love. It's really about opening yourself. So forgiving yourself is a huge step, because that's the letting go of all of the shit that you've picked up along the way, all of the incorrect mindset, the limiting beliefs, which is all just illusion. It's just a thought you somewhere along the line decided to believe that somebody probably passed on to you. So all that condemnation, all that self-condemnation that's going on in your mind, it's not you. And when you learn to release that, then you open yourself up to receive the love that is already yours. It already is yours. It's your birthright. So I just suggest to you to start to look at forgiveness in a little bit of a different way, because I think the way that we look at forgiveness it's so difficult. It's like, how can I forgive this wrong thing that you did to me? Or how can I forgive this wrong thing that I've done? And let's stop looking at it that way and start realizing that the fact that I even think that I'm doing something wrong is wrong. And let me understand that everything I do is right. And maybe my perception of the wrongdoing is the illusion. Let's look at our perception. Let's not look at the behavior or what we did or didn't do right or wrong. Let's look at how we're looking at it. Because that's really the beginning of all things, of all creation, is your perception. The beginning of all creation is perception. And all you have to do is shift your perception. It's really that easy. Next week, I want to go deeper into how to retrain your brain, how to really let go. And when you do forgive, that acting of let go and of letting go, and the real practice. I want to give you some tangible tools. There are lots of tools that you can use, and I have quite a few that I can give to you. So next week we'll talk about knocking out that negative self-talk. Also, I have huge news. I think I've set a date, a launch date for DarienneEmpire.com, but I'm not going to announce it yet. You have to look out on social media. I will be releasing an intro video, a promo video, and in that video I will be letting you know when I will be releasing DarienneEmpire.com, and I'm so excited about it because what comes after that is lots and lots of awesome crap for you. All right, guys, that is it. I will see you next week. I love you, and fare thee well.